I actually don't think it's going to rain today, which is awesome. So I can get down here into my garden, into my tomatoes, and get some work done. Hi, I'm Kathleen, and this is my Alabama farm life. The first thing I want to do is bring to attention all the work that my son has done getting our fence line back up and running. We had a lot of rusty wires, so we just replaced everything, and everything is brand new, minus the T-poles, but we do have a couple of new T-poles. We actually had to bypass a few areas where we have some heavy growth where we just didn't have time to cut it down. But today we're going to concentrate on the tomatoes. Further down in the garden is where our okra is, and there's a lot of water down there, so I'm not going to go down there. Today I'm going to show off my brand new candle panels and our T-posts that we are going to use this year to keep our tomatoes up off the ground, and hopefully we'll have a better harvest on fewer tomatoes. We decided to make an investment in some cattle panels and the T-post. We usually use the Florida weave, but we have discovered that it is just a big failure. Now, me and my son came out here and started this process. Originally, we used zip ties. We still have a few on the poles that we didn't cut off, but we ended up using the metal pieces that come with the fencing, and it worked a lot better. Ideally, we would have put in these posts before we planted our tomatoes, but of course we had to do it backwards, and we ended up putting it in after the tomatoes were already set. So ideally 2 people can do it, but it's better if you have 3 if you're facing the challenge of working around tomatoes. And I think next year we're going to use some line to get a straight line to put in the cattle panels and the T-post. But, you know, this is our first time using it. It is an investment. I'm about $250 in. I'm probably going to buy 3 more and some more T-post. So we're looking at an investment of about $400 once it's all said and done. Maybe a little more. But we'll be able to use these for several years. Now, the cattle panels that we chose are 16 foot by 50 inches, so just about 4 foot. And it has smaller squares at the bottom and the bigger ones at the top. We tried to leave about a foot space from the ground to where we started the pole, and I'm using 6-foot T-poles. Now I have my Amelia bench out here, and I'm going to be sitting here twining my tomatoes up into the cattle panel and trimming back the leaves, and I have a little bit of twine that I can tie them up if I need to. But the nice thing about this is that the tomatoes just kind of grow into the cattle panel and find their own space. But today the initial work is trimming up all the leaves and getting them twined in, and so that's what we're doing today. So I have my nippers that I'm going to use to clip off the excess leaves. So what I'm doing is I'm going to nip off some of the really large leaves off the plant, and then I'm going to go from the bottom up to where the tomato starts to go into the cattle panel, and I'm going to remove all the branches and all the leaves. And I'm also going to be aware of all the suckers that are growing on the tomato, and I'm going to try to remove as many of those too. So this is not a really great camera angle to see how much that I've removed from the tomatoes, but I think you get the point. And so now I'm going to go around and I'm going to pull out some of the weeds that are down here growing in. But I really need to get out here with my hoe. And then we're going to be doing some mulching probably next week. But for right now, I'm just going to be working on getting rid of the excess leaves. So this plant can put all its energy into producing fruit. And we are really looking forward to our first tomatoes this year. All right, I've got one down and I've got, oh my goodness, at least another 28 to go. And through the magic of video, I have been able to get this whole row done. As you can see, I've got a lot of the leaves off the bottom of the plants, and I've got everybody twined up into the cattle panels. I am really looking forward to see how well our tomatoes do this year. I'm really glad that we decided to invest in the cattle panel solution for keeping our tomatoes off the ground. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little short, but I've been doing a lot of work outside and it has been keeping me really busy. I want to do a real quick shout out to all my members. Remember, you can become a member too. But thank you, Fractured Christian, Greg Bryson, and Gail's Southern Living. I really appreciate you. Check out my channel, Literature and More with Kathleen, where I'm still working on my book, Grayson's Mansion, and I'd appreciate you if you'd go check it out. I also have my live channel if you want to watch my chickens live during the day and at night. You guys have a blessed and joyous day, and I will see you on my next video.